Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. In today's session, I'm working with Nella, who is a current active teacher training student inside the Function Pilates Teacher Training Academy. So my Wednesday videos are focused on helping you think like an instructor, how to assess, adjust, and customize in real time, not just actual following exercises. So based on Nella's posture, there are a few things I'm focusing on today. A narrow stance with a right foot that's externally rotated, a shoulder rotation to the left, and a right hip hike. She also has osteopenia in her neck, so I'm being mindful to avoid flexion or anything that places unnecessary pressure on her cervical spine. So instead of just taking her through a workout, everything we're doing today is built around correcting these patterns while still keeping her body safe and supported. So you're gonna notice I'm incorporating a lot of inner thigh work and stretching to help open up her base of support and improve her alignment. I'm also really challenging her balance because when someone stands narrow like this, it often means they're not fully stabilizing through both sides evenly. You're gonna see me place a big emphasis on what her feet are doing and how they're grounded and how they're tracking, because that's going to influence everything up the chain. And because she's tighter on the left side and weaker on the right, I'm working to open and lengthen the left side. So while strengthening the right side to help bring her back into balance, okay? So this is exactly what I mean when I say Pilates isn't just about movement. It's about understanding the body in front of you and knowing how to program for it, especially when you're working with real conditions and not just ideal scenarios. That just doesn't happen in real life. So if you're watching this and thinking, I wanna learn how to actually teach like this is exactly what we do inside the Function Pilates Teacher Training Academy. We offer online training so you can join from anywhere in the world, and our in-person courses are held here in Tempe, Arizona. And if you're already an instructor ready for your next level, you can apply to become a master trainer and start teaching the next generation of students. So I'll leave everything linked below. I'd love to support you wherever you're at in your journey. Okay, how's your body feeling today?
Good, just tightness here.
Okay.
That's normal.
Yeah. Let's do this. I'm gonna have you go ahead and I'm gonna have you walk around all the way so that you can basically face outward.
Okay.
Yep, just like that.
Face
and
outward.
Yeah, I'm gonna have your hands, because we're gonna do some roll downs there, Nella. So maybe you walk over to the right a little bit. Even more, yep. And I'm just gonna have you stand hip distance apart. So we're gonna face out this direction completely, all right? So from here, one of the goals that I want to address today is because you have more of a natural narrow stance, I want to make sure we're not doing anything like that's contributing to a narrow stance. So again, I'm gonna have you have your feet a little bit more separated than probably you would normally feel like that. But that's a little too wide. So I'll have you bring it in a little bit more. Okay, just like so. So nice and tall for me. I'm gonna have you go ahead and reach your arms up towards the ceiling and take a dive forward into the well so that you can start to get a nice roll down here, okay? So wherever your arms land. So if that means, let's see, walk your hands. Let's see, come on back up again. Yep. Take a giant step forward, because when you do the roll down, you're naturally going to dive literally into the well, okay? So with that being said here, inhaling to prepare, carefully opening your arms up towards the ceiling and taking that dive straight down. Yes, coming as comfortable as you can get yourself. Drop your chin, look between your knees for me. That's it. I'm gonna go ahead and see you from this perspective. So I'm gonna have you take your right hip back, left hip forward. I love it right there. Do you feel the difference? Now, very slowly, you're gonna start to push your feet into the floor and build your spine back up again, one vertebra at a time. Okay. That's it, shoulders down. Watch that right shoulder for me. Again, we're gonna go ahead and raise those arms right back up. And then you're gonna go ahead and dive yourself back into the well. And this is such a good angle for me to watch you as a client in front, so I can notify any type of adjustments that need to be made. And that was a good correction, but let's bring that left hip forward, right hip back. Relax your arms. Yes, do you feel like a natural stretch there? And then again, you're gonna start to press your feet into the floor, activate through your hamstrings, rebuild the spine.
Shoulders are gonna go rolling down your back pockets. Head's the last thing to lift, arms down. Okay, good. Let's have you walk in front here. And as a warm-up, I like to start with the ball, the tennis ball. So you're gonna go ahead and take that. You can have a seat on the carriage. And we're going to start to roll out the bottom of the feet here, okay? So think about applying a lot of pressure into the ball. And what this is doing is it's helping to open up the muscles of the sole of the foot so that we can activate a little bit more through our footwork here, okay? So it's a really nice thing to do.
Back and forth.
Just back and forth, yeah, at a comfortable pace for yourself. You might notice that there are some areas that feel like a little tighter. So just kind of play around with it and experiment in the inside of your feet and on the outside of your foot. Yeah. And like I said, we're gonna really pay attention today, especially with footwork, on your foot positioning, because with your postural assessment, I notice a lot, whether it's the narrow stance or it's like the feet kind of want to do their own thing. Mm-hmm. So we're going to address that as much as possible today. Yeah. Okay, go ahead and do the other side. I'm gonna grab something. Okay. And sometimes one side might even feel a little different than the other.
My right, definitely.
Okay.
Always.
Good. So how's the body overall today?
Feels good. Just tightness.
Okay.
Yeah, it's here and always the right side. I always feel
the right hip specifically?
The right hip.
Okay. And then you said your neck or your upper shoulder?
It feels like it's the upper shoulders. It's upper shoulder.
And that's the right side where you already naturally kind of hold on to a lot of that tension, which I just was...
I always feel like I'm like this.
Yeah, which we were just noticing when you did your roll downs, which is why I love to start even with some roll downs as well, because it's a good eye where you can address like what now you need to work on with your client too. So, okay, let's go ahead and lie you down on your back. And yes, we're gonna do a little bit, some pelvic tilts. Like I said, I'm a huge fan of those. I feel like these are such natural, good warm-ups here. So arms are down beside you. And then we're gonna go ahead and start to press your low back into the mat here. So intentionally really flattening your mat, your back without moving the carriage, just, And then really over-exaggerating through your low back, that's it. Beautiful. So that this movement is coming right there from that lumbar spine. Yes. And seeing if like it feels like it's equal weight going back and forth, or if you feel like one side is dominating more on than the other at this point. Good. Let's do one more. And then go ahead and relax it there. Beautiful. Okay, so we're going to avoid flexion as much as possible because of the osteopenia in the neck. There's just no reason. It's not necessary, okay? There's so many other ab exercises that we can focus on. So with that being said, let's go and take one leg at a time into your tabletop position. Arms are gonna stay as is, and we're gonna go into a little lower and lifts there, like a mat exercise, basically, okay? So I want you to feel like your low back is connected here into the carriage, right? So feel that type of connection. And then with the same angle behind your knee, we're gonna hinge from your hips, start to lower the legs. But once you feel like that low back kicks in and starts arching, game over. We've already gone so far, okay? Once you feel like your neck is starting to like create tension, we've gone too far at that point. Beautiful. And again, thinking about intentionally pulling your belly button away from your t-shirt as you're doing this exercise. I'm a huge fan of getting this warm-up done so that we are nice and heated through our midsection to help us navigate through how we're doing our footwork series. That's it, we have 3 more. Good, arms are reaching long. A little bit more hinge from that hip. I'm gonna drop your heels down a tad. And then again, we have 2 right about there. Do you feel the difference?
Yeah.
And last time. Good, draw it in, pull away from your t-shirt, back to tabletop and hold it. Beautiful. Now I'm gonna naturally, because you love a narrow stance, we're gonna go and separate you here so that your knees are in line with your hips, those ASI bones here. And we're gonna do marching, okay? So we're gonna start to naturally lower this leg down, right about there simultaneously. Now we're going to switch the legs and switch the legs. And it's really great that the foot bar is there because it does give you a little bit of idea of like, okay, I need to stop here so I don't overextend myself. A little bit more simultaneous. So as one leg is lowering down, the other one's going back up. We have 6. Nice and easy, relaxing through the hip flexors, relaxing through the shoulders. Aiming a little higher, good corrections. 3, 2, and 1. And then go ahead, relax those feet down. Okay, beautiful. Just do a little bit of a sway here, windshield wipe those knees. Have you done any movement today?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I'm pretty tight.
That's okay, that's why we're here, right? Okay, so with that being said, I wanna do a little supine spine twist here, okay? So you can hang on to the pegs behind you, and then let's go ahead and take the legs back to tabletop. Again, I don't want your knees to be a unit in this exercise.
Okay.
They're intentionally going to separate, okay? So point out through your toes. And with this one, remember, we're gonna go ahead and keep the shoulder blades connected to the carriage here, okay? So we're gonna take our legs over to that right-hand side. We're gonna hold, and then I want you to think of your legs being so heavy here that you're navigating this work using your oblique muscles. So use that breath to pull back up through center. That's it, and hold. Good. And then we're gonna take it over to the left-hand side. So the right shoulder blade is gonna stay connected. Once you feel it's lifting away from the carriage, game over. And return. Good. It's an inhale to the right. Yes. Abs into my hand. There you go. Exhale through center. It's an inhale to the left. Good. Knit those ribs together. Exhale through center. Beautiful job. One more each way. Take it over. Neck and shoulder soften. Pull through center. Last time. And return. Excellent. Probably hard to keep those feet separated, huh? Okay, so I'm gonna drop you down to your footwork springs, which is 2 mediums and a heavy, so 2 reds and a green. And we are going to, you can relax your arms beside you. I'm gonna use the block here to help keep the separation of your feet, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and take it right about here, where you're going to maintain this connection, and it's really reinforcing you to maintain the number 11 with your feet, because the right foot naturally kind of wants to go out to the side. Mm-hmm. And the reason now that I know more, especially because your right hip is bothering you, mm-hmm. is that's why it's doing that. It's compensating for the tension that it's feeling here. Okay, so inhale to prepare there. Exhale, let's go ahead and push out to 2 straight legs. And then return and come back in. Good. And then I'm gonna have you keep your hands, your feet connected to my hands as we're going through this movement. And I really want you to also think about this work coming from your midsection, since we worked so hard on already getting it prepared for this. Good. Exhale, press. Inhale to pull back in. All on you. Point those toes up towards the ceiling. That's it. Maintain that as I check over here in this direction, because we want to look at all angles here at what our bodies are doing. Good. And I'm watching to make sure that your knees are tracking nicely with your hip bones looking directly up towards the ceiling. Let's do 2. And 1 more time. Good. And then come back in again. Okay, adjust yourself down to your toes. That's it. And we're going to move your body slightly to the right for me. There you go. And then move that over. And then we're going to, again, just kind of hug that together. And then when you're ready, go ahead and push out for me. And then back in. Good. Now, what's happening too is that the inner thighs tend to want to overcompensate. So I want you to think about pulling this in just a tad right there. And then try to activate through those inner thighs as well. And extend and back in. Good. Think of those ribs pulling together. Yep. As you are going outward, this is knitting closer together. So it's helping to stabilize literally everything with your pelvis. Good. Let's do 2 more. And 1. And come right back in again. Okay. And let's remove this. I'm not going to be crazy about doing the V position, our first position with you. So we're going to go ahead and take it into our second position on our heels, nice and wide. All right, so a nice turned out position, but I do want knees in line with the shoulders there, so it's not super turned out. Feet are flexed, and then go ahead and push out to 2 straight legs here. Nice. And doing a really nice job with ankle stability, maintain the pressure into my hands. Beautiful. Can you feel the difference, how the muscles working?
It instantly becomes harder.
Yeah, and this is the stuff that we want to look for because we naturally want to make these compensations in our body. And it's harder on your right side because I don't know if you can see, but all your other metatarsals besides your big toe wants to move in this exercise. I'm going to let go. You have 2 more. And 1. Let's bring it back in. Let's come down to your toes. Stay wide there. That's it. Let's elevate your heels for me. So let's come into high position. Inhale to prepare and exhale. Let's go ahead and press out. Good. Thinking about pressing out using equal weight distribution through each of your toes here. That we don't want to basically favor the inside of our foot too much or the outside of our foot too much. Press. Press, beautiful. Knitting those ribs together, lowering down into your low back. And take it there for another 2. And 1. Let's bring you home. Okay, let's move you down to about hip distance apart. Push out to straight legs. We'll keep you on your toes. I'm gonna give you a little bit of a stretch through those calves, okay? So dropping those heels underneath. And then I want you to think about turning your kneecaps like in opposite directions of the room, like the best of your ability. And do you feel that? Yeah. And it's nice that we're able to feel the different parts of the muscles there stretch. Bring it back up again, hold. I wanna adjust this foot a tiny bit. Now drop the heel back under, like that, and try to do the same thing again where you're pointing your kneecaps outward. And does that change the way the stretch feels? Okay.
Yeah.
Like, do you feel it more or less?
More.
Okay. And then let's go ahead and lift those heels, and you're gonna drop your heels right into your calf raises. So nothing serious, but we are wanting to exercise those ankles and exercise all of the metatarsals that are into the feet, okay? Lifting and lowering with such control. Beautiful. Think about your right heel going out to the right a tiny bit. Left heel looks pretty good. It's the right heel that needs to sway out to the right a little bit. Yes, right there, right there. Try to maintain that as we go in for another few repetitions. It should feel like things got a little harder.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good, 6 more. And when I say harder, it's because we're now exercising the appropriate muscles that were weaker to begin with. Good. And 3. And 2. And 1. Let's bring you back in again. All the way.
All the way.
Yeah, okay, good. Hang out there for a second. I'm gonna adjust these spring tensions. We're gonna go to a medium and a light spring for our supine ab work, and I am going to have you take your headrest down to a flat position. And we're gonna have a pillow here, so lift your head up so that your head is completely supported. I don't know if that ponytail is gonna be in the way though, but it should start to get you in a position where you're comfortable and it's taking the pressure off your neck and your shoulders here, okay? So then what we're gonna do is your feet are gonna go through this circle. You can rest them back on the foot bar, and I want you to pull outward on it, okay? So we're gonna maintain that type of resistance as we go through our supine ab work. So grabbing a hold of those handles, let's bring those arms straight towards the ceiling. And when you're ready there, Nella, let's take those legs out to the tabletop. Good, just like that. So bring your knees in a little closer to you. Yes. And then from here, fingertips looking up at the sky, we're gonna press and pull back down. It's a little bit heavier because we're eliminating flexion with you. I want to really focus in on that upper body sensation. Good. And then I'm gonna even correct you here to hover your hands over the carriage right there. Exhale, press. Shoulders roll back, beautiful. Exhale, press down. Good. And then taking this view, drop your right heel down a tiny bit. Yes. And press it down. Think of getting heavier through your low back and tailbone here. Good, fingertips reaching away for 2. And 1, hold it there, good. So little adjustment, think of the wrist like that, and now fingertips reaching for me. That's what I want you to feel, okay? Arms are gonna go right back up again for me, and then you're gonna go ahead and take your feet back down. I'm moving the ring down to your ankles now, all right? So we are trying not to get the hips acquainted with what they're feeling. I really wanna kinda like shake them up here a little bit. So now this work is gonna come from a different angle, which should probably either feel easier or harder to you, okay? So once you're ready, you're gonna bring your legs back to tabletop. Hold it right there, arms out to a T, and then from here, you're going to drive your palms in towards your hips. Nice and easy to open, keeping those arms in your peripheral vision, and out. Good. Inhale to open, and exhale to pull in. Knit those ribs together. Getting heavier through your tailbone. Good. Think of kind of dropping your right ankle if that makes a little, yes, right there. And take it here for 5. And 4, beautiful job. 3, take an inventory of your body as you relax your neck and shoulders. 2, and 1. Beautiful. Okay, open those arms out, rest your feet. We're going right back up. Did that feel different than what?
Yeah.
Requiring a lot of different work here. Okay, we're gonna do our tricep presses here, okay? So any tension in the neck and the shoulders as you're doing this?
No.
You feel okay? Okay, good. So once we're here, elbows are in next to our body, fingertips looking up at the ceiling. We have our tabletop position of our legs. Intentionally, we're pulling that ring apart, okay? And then you're gonna straighten your arms out all the way. And then bend. And then I'm gonna even ask you to allow for your elbows to hover off the carriage and then straighten your arms. So that this work is coming literally from the back of the arm into the triceps. Keep going. Good. This work is coming from the outsides here. Yes. Good. Exhale, press. And take it for 3. Keep those fingertips looking up at the ceiling. Exhale, press it for 2. That's it. And 1. Good. Arms are going to go back up. Feet are going to rest. One more variation here, okay? So we're going to shift you back down to right here. Again, this is helping to also stabilize the pelvis area. You're like, I know, I feel it. This is our last one. So what the arms are going to end up doing as you rest here for a second is we're going to play this part like you're almost like putting your hands into your jean pockets here, okay? So it's going to kind of slide parallel to the floor, all right? So once you're ready, let's take the legs into tabletop. Hold it there, apply some pressure into those ankles, point out through your toes. Let your knees come out a tiny bit more. There we go, okay. And then from here, you're gonna go ahead, slide your hands down, hold, and then you're gonna go ahead and just start to bend your elbows as you bring those arms up. Exhale, slide straight down. Inhale it to bend. Literally pressing and getting longer. Like we are actually opening up the space between your shoulders and your ears. 5. And 4. Do you notice the difference when I do that?
Yeah.
You feel your abs work harder. 3. Good. Exhale, press it down. First 2. Beautiful. 1 more. Arms come straight up, and then we get to rest and relax it there. Okay, let's take you out of this carefully. Okay, hang up your loops, your handles for me, I'm sorry. And you can go ahead and sit yourself up. We're gonna go into our hip work here. And we're gonna do a little bit different hip work because I really wanna strengthen through the glutes on you. So I know that we are capable of doing things a little bit more in an intermediate level.
Okay.
Because of the narrow stance and the way the feet are, how we are playing a huge emphasis there, I do want to focus more on balance with you. Okay?
Yeah.
So we're going to do a kneeling series of hip work on the box. So I'll have you step off for a second. I'm going to keep you on just a medium spring for this exercise. And then I'll ask you here to switch out those handles into your loops while I grab this box. How are you feeling so far?
Good.
Okay.
I feel like it's loosening up.
Okay, good.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna carefully kneel on the box. We're gonna face the back of the Reformer. I do have you again on that medium spring, which is a pretty hefty weight for this type of single leg series. We're going to start here on your right side, okay? So very carefully, you're going to go for a little ride here as I pull this towards you. So find your balance, place your foot into the loop. That's it. And then you got it now here, okay? So just hold it right there. I want to make sure that we get you in position. So hands look great. I love that. We want to find that left knee in the middle of the box here. And then I'm also looking to make sure that the knee is underneath your hip, which it looks like it pretty much is. And then when you're ready there, Nella, drop your right leg off to the side of the carriage, just like that. And then you're gonna use a lot coming from your glute as you're gonna pull your leg straight back for me. Good, abs are drawn in, and then start to lower it back down again. Excellent. So we're working on hip extension. We're isolating through the glute muscle. We're focusing on balance here. And then I'm gonna pay attention to your positioning here. So relax your left shoulder You can even look, like drop your chin down even further. Yep. And think about squeezing through that right butt cheek as you bring that leg up. Abs are drawn up into my hand to help stabilize through the hips. Beautiful. Good. We're going to take it here. We have another 5. And you're doing a really good job about not dumping into this upper portion. So press into my hand a little more. Yes. Shoulders down, chin drops. It's like your eyesight is looking at that headrest. And take it again for 2. Think about reaching and lengthening out of this hip. 1 more. Reach. And then lower it and rest for a second. Okay, we're gonna do 1 more variation. Is this tension okay for you? Yeah, it's good.
Heavy, but
heavy, but I wanted it to be a little bit on the
yeah.
heavier side right now because we're only doing 2 variations.
Okay.
So this one is just literally you're going to be pushing behind you and then bending your knee to come back in again, okay? So once we're ready, do a double check in with your body. Abs are drawn up and in, and you're gonna begin to straighten your leg out in back of you, bend your knee to return back in again. Okay, as you're going through this, my hand is on your low back so that you can remind yourself to continue to pull upwards. It helps to keep the alignment of your hips in place, and it also works on getting those hips nice and strong, because this is falling in the progressive flow under hip strengthening. And that's what I'm doing. I'm literally following the progressive flow here to go through each of these exercises. Let's take it for 4. Exhale, 3. Beautiful. And 2. Good. Lead with your heel. And 1. Return. Come back in. I will carefully remove this from your foot as we bring yourself back in again. Take a little child's pose to relax here for a second. Yeah. And before we dive into the other side, because I want to give you a sense of like to reclaim your form again, we're going to do some chest expansion, okay? So I'm just going to have you take a seat with your feet here on the headrest. And then after we do some chest expansion to stabilize through the shoulder joints, I'll get you back into balancing again. So when you're ready, grab a hold of those loops for me. And then take those hands down beside you. Fingertips are down. Okay, so remember, we want neutral position here with the pelvis. Tuck your tailbone under, press into my hands. That's it, a little bit more. There we go. Okay, looking straight ahead there at that bar. There you go. And pull straight back for me. Exhale. And return. Good. Think of your left shoulder rolling backwards. Yep. And then pull straight. So that this work is literally feeling it right there. Straight back. Good. Try to relax the neck and the shoulders. Even if you have like minimal movement. And that's what we want to do. We want to keep checking in with our clients, making sure that we can help them get back into proper positioning. So drop your chin for me a little bit more. Right there. Yep. Try to soften. Let's do 3. Soften through here. Putting the emphasis there, which limits your range of motion, right?
Yeah.
And that's okay. Because this shouldn't feel now like you're like overly tensing so much. And then 1 more time. Beautiful. Okay, let's go ahead and place those back. Take a little breather there. Yes, and then we will go back into your all 4 position so that we can get over to that left side. Okay.
I feel like this one's gonna be hard because I'm always like.
So I'll make sure I pay attention
Yeah.
to that alignment here too, okay? If we need to reduce the tension, we will definitely do that, okay? Because I definitely want you to have good alignment as we're doing this exercise. So all that being said, when you're ready there, Nella, carefully The right knee looks good right now. Let's carefully take the left knee off to the side. Press into the palms of your hands to make sure that your entire front side of your body is working. And then you're gonna pull back with your left leg here into hip extension. And then slowly with control, let's go ahead and push up into my hand. Yes, this area. And then we're gonna really elongate there. That's it. Again, if we can't come up as high, press into my hand. We wanna open this area up. So up, up, up. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, I feel the difference there. And then I'm walking back here. Opening, reaching and lengthening out of that. There you go. I like it. Hold. And let's go 4. You feel the glute work a little harder?
Yeah.
And 3. And I think it helps if I hold your hip there for a second. 2. Gotta fatigue that glute muscle. And last time. Right there. Good. Take a little breather. Rest it. Yes. So that's why what happened is because that hip was naturally hiking up, I wanted to really open up that entire left side here. Okay. So this is the one where we're gonna do our little donkey kick.
Okay.
All right, so taking action here, abs are in. You're gonna straighten your leg out behind you. Think about leading with that heel. Foot is flexed. Exhale, elongate. Good correction that you, like, I think you already felt it in your body.
Yeah.
Yeah. If I have to say something, I would say lift up your right hip.
Yeah.
And then
Start sinking.
yeah. But it's not bad. It's not bad. Beautiful. Good. 6. Nice and easy. Really stabilize into a quiet positioning of your body. 5. Inhale there. Exhale. 4. 3. Excuse me.
Bless you.
And 2. Last time. Abs are in. And 1. Good job. Okay, let's remove this carefully. You got it. Come back in again. And then just, yeah, take a little child's pose there as you relax your neck and your shoulders. Nicely done. Okay, once you're there, let's exit off to the side there, Nella. And I do want to do some spinal articulation with you, but this is going to be more bridging. We're not going to do any type of short spine or long spine here. So you can lie down on your back. I am going to also with this one pay attention to your feet positioning again because they want to do all sorts of fun stuff. But I'm going to give you some extra help. So what I mean by extra help is I do want to give you, I want to load you a little bit more than I know that you can do what you're capable of because I want to execute proper form.
Yeah.
So I am having you on 2 medium springs and 1 light spring.
Okay.
Headrest is down flat. And then, yep, we're good there. Let's take your heels on. Nice. And the fun part, we're adding the block in again so that you can feel like you're hugging that into a number 11 position of your feet. Okay, separate your arms a little bit more. You can use your arms as leverage. In fact, I want you to. So this is the exercise where we don't want to move the carriage. We want to keep it super quiet. So from here, I'm going to have you start to take that inhale to prepare. On the exhale, you're going to literally press into the foot bar, but not away from it as you bridge your hips up towards the ceiling. Good. Holding right there. Let's see. Let's get a little bit extra lift on that left side. Think of the knees reaching towards me, and then you're bridging to lower everything back down. Beautiful. And then on this next one, exhale, reach from the glutes, reach from the hamstrings. You got it. Kneecaps are reaching towards me. That looks nice. and lower it down. So the bridging helps to create stability in those hips. You don't have a super tight, like over exaggerated lumbar spine or anything, so I'm not super concerned on doing pelvic curls with you.
Okay.
Good. Lower it back down. And then from this angle, this perspective that I'm watching you, I am going to ask that you lift with your left hip a little bit more. Good. Reach, reach, reach. Coming up. That was better. And then lower back down. We're just going to do about 2 more here. Good. Separate your knees a little bit more. There you go. Good. Reach out with the right knee. And lower. And again. We're going to lift last time. Yep. Right about there. Good. And then lower everything back down again. How'd that feel?
Oh, a little hard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
With what
Feels, when you asked me to lift the left, it just felt awkward in my brain.
That's actually like the perfect word I would say is awkward,
Yeah.
because things do feel awkward when we're like, well, no, that's not how it usually feels in my body, but we've been compensating the whole time too. Yeah. So, okay, now with that exercise, we're going to get into a kneeling lunge. So I'll have you go ahead and sit yourself up. I do want to make sure that we're stretching out those hip flexors and your quads. So I'm going to reduce you down to a medium spring. And then what you can do is start to begin kneeling here. I'm going to give you a knee pad too, okay? Just so that it feels a little bit extra. So you're going to place this under your right knee. Your right foot's up against the shoulder block all the way, so you can bring that back. And then we're just going to start with your left foot on top of the actual front part of the reformer. So you can keep your shin up against the foot bar. So kind of navigate that left foot forward. That's it. Then from this position, shoulders down, you're going to keep your hands on the foot bar. Yep. Let's take this knee out to the side a little bit more. And then you can go ahead and kind of push your right knee into that knee pad as you help yourself out. And then this side, the right hip is going to shine forward. Okay. All right. So don't go down that low, because I do want your left hip in line with your left knee. So raise yourself up a little higher. That's it. And then think of your right hip going forward, left hip going back, shoulders down. Can you feel the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I'm trying to look for the alignment so that you're really deepening that stretch. Think about swaying your body to the left a little bit, like your hips to the left. There you go. Push back a little further on that right knee. Keep that chest really elevated. I like it. And then go ahead, bring yourself back in. Don't move just yet. We're just giving you a little bit of a breather because we'll do this one more time, okay? So from that, once you're ready, inhale there, exhale, press. Stretch out that right hip flexor. And then again, naturally think about like the right hip coming forward, left hip going back, to play around with what that feels like in your body.
Just feel like I'm pushing a pattern.
Yes, because what I was saying to you before is to kind of shift your weight that way, because it should feel like there's a new area stretching there.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. And then let's go ahead. Let's return you back in. All right. Carefully bring that left foot back. We'll switch out your knee pad. There you go.
Double.
And then we'll do the same thing. Okay, so let's look at your placement. All right, so I'm gonna have you with your left knee kind of reorganize it to the left more. Okay, so lift that, yeah, right about there. Because I do want it in better alignment. Your foot was fine. Now you can take your right foot on top of the platform. And then shoulders down, arms are long and straight. Let's simply press away. Good, pausing. Now think of lifting your left hip and dropping your right hip, if that makes any sense. Like, again, think of lengthening out of this left hip socket as you kind of grow. Can you feel that stretch? Yeah.
Okay.
Good.
That look better.
Shoulders down. It looks better. Does it feel any different?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, nice deep breath there. And then bring it back in. Take a little breather. The goal here with every single exercise is to train your brain to understand, like, I can make these corrections, or at least try to.
Yeah.
We always need like an extra eye, go ahead and push out. But one of the, again, the first principle of Pilates is awareness.
Yeah.
So how does that actually feel in our bodies? And we can make these mental notes. Because especially like if you're in a group class, you know how to make these adjustments on yourself because you're just being guided in these private sessions to do it.
Yep.
Good. Nice and tall as we lengthen and open up through that hip flexor. Beautiful. Okay, let's bring you back in. Okay, so don't go very far, but you can bring that knee back with you. And I am going to now, do you like the knee pads or are you okay?
Yeah, I do. No,
Okay, I'm gonna give you another one because I wanna go into down stretch with you and then we're going to ease into long stretch, okay? But before we get into long stretch, I just want you to get a little warmed up for the experience because I'm gonna be really paying attention to what's happening in the upper body.
Okay.
But we're not dumping down and not letting that shoulder play the lead here. And I'm gonna keep you on your one red spring. So your one medium spring. Let's take your hands to the foot bar. Fingertips are facing forward. And with down stretch, this is the one where you wanna send your hips forward in towards the well, okay? So right there, abs are already drawn in, just like so. Arms are straight. You're gonna push yourself away from that foot bar. The further you go, the more difficult this is going to be to return you back in again, okay? So drop your chin slightly. There you go, because I want the neck in line with the spine. And then you're gonna navigate yourself to come forward. Like there's a string pulling you at the top of your head to lift you upwards. Good. And then go ahead and press on back. Fingertips are reaching. Does that feel okay for you? Pull your belly button in towards my hand as you draw yourself forward. Yes. Down we go. And let's go ahead. We have another 2. Think about, yes, right there. That oblique had to fire up a little bit. Nice. Drop your chin. I want to keep that neck long. Again. Hold it. One more. Beautiful. Ooh, you went out a little further on that one. Good. Okay. Give it a little shake. Relax the neck and shoulders so that we can go into your long stretch. I'm going to give you a tiny bit of help. So I'm just putting that extra light spring on so that, again, you're not like feeling it right away. But once you're ready there, Nella, let's take your hands to that foot bar and then you're going to carefully start to rise on up into your plank position, okay? So you're gonna lift those knees off, support your feet with the shoulder blocks. Good. Now lots of things here that I'm gonna tweak. So shoulders down, let's drop our chin. Let's push up into my hand. So you're gonna raise your hips up even higher. Pull those abs into my hand from here. There you go. And one more time right here. Let's focus, okay? You're gonna go ahead and push yourself outward. That's it. Until you feel like you can't go any further, then you're gonna pull yourself back in again. Beautiful. Go ahead, let's take it out. Can we lift this right hip up a little higher? Hold it, yep. Tuck your tailbone under, pull up into my hand. That's okay, that's okay. Okay, take a break, take a break. So we're gonna do this again. But what I want us to pay attention to is it doesn't matter how far we go out.
Okay.
The distance, you're feeling it already, just being up there.
Yeah.
So if we even just try to go a tiny bit, just a sense of some type of movement and shift, that's okay. But what I'm really focused on is I'm gonna try to get that hip to stay up, and I'm gonna try one more thing with your knees. Okay, because they do want to kind of come in, and I wanna see if we can activate some of that, because maybe if they were turned on and helping you, it'll be easier for the hips to stay up. Okay, so once you're ready, let's go ahead and come all the way up again. Good. That looks really nice. I love it already. So from here, press into my hand. The low back is so important. Drop your chin for me. Let's press out slightly. Let those kneecaps pull outward. Yes, lift your right hip up a little higher. Good, and tuck that under. Good, bring it in. Drag your body in. Let's push on out for another 2 small movements. Drag your body in. Right hip up a little higher. Tuck that tailbone under. There you go, one more time. This is it. And drag it in. Beautiful. Drop and come back down. Whew. Good work. Okay.
How to tuck when I'm there.
Yeah. Well, it's a natural thing.
Yeah.
Okay, we're gonna do some sideline arm series here. We're gonna kneel, and we're gonna do, actually we're not gonna kneel. I'm gonna put you back on the box, so I wanna give you guys your knees a little break. But I wanna do some unilateral work with you because of that elevated shoulder.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go ahead and take you right here. And what I'm doing is getting you, okay, so have a seat there.
Facing.
Facing out through that window. We're gonna go ahead. I'm going to, because I have the loop on still, so I'm gonna keep you on the medium spring and see how that feels in your body. And then we are going to hang on with your right hand. All right, so with that being said, nice and tall for me. So tuck that pelvis under, get the abs activated. Let's begin with that right hand. The palm is looking at your ear, and you're gonna begin to raise your arm straight up.
Heavy.
Is it too heavy? Okay, let's bring you back in. There we go. Okay, we're on a light spring now. So we're gonna turn that palm to face you, just like so. And then you're gonna go ahead and work through this area to lift. Hold, come back down. Can I ask you to move to the right a little bit?
Yeah.
And that's also gonna help to make this a little bit easier in tension. Okay, this is gonna be down, and then you're gonna go ahead and raise. Hold right there, and then lower back down. So what I'm also looking for is that you're not leaning to the left. So I'm gonna keep my hand here and my hand on your low back, and then back down again. Does that feel different?
Yes.
Yes, okay. One more with me holding you steady. And now it's gonna be all you. Good. And back down. And let's go for 3. And I'm gonna ask you to make this elbow come back further. Straight up. 2, different little bit of feeling. Ribs pulled in. 1 more. Yes. Good. Let's take your hands, interlace them. Just like that, a little rotation here, okay? So we're gonna go ahead and turn to the left, anchor those heels in towards that carriage, and then right back through center. Good. And turn. Yes. Try to relax the tension from your hips. Reach. And 2, think of like this equal weight distribution in your hips as well. 1 more. And hold, good. Left hand's gonna go into the loop here, and we're gonna go ahead into our sword. How's that weight feel? Good?
Feels good.
Okay, so again, press equally into your hips, abs are on, reach. Love it. Shoulders down. We're taking it for 4. Good, keeping that left shoulder down as we start to open out wide. 3, super controlled to pull back in. Think of this work coming from the back of your shoulder. Yes, you felt that how it plugged in a little bit more? One more, just like that. It's coming from the back of the shoulder as we open it out. Beautiful job. And then bringing yourself right back in. Excellent. Okay, step on off for me. We're gonna adjust the box here to come this way. I like this positioning too because it gives you opportunity to stabilize through the feet. So go ahead and start there. You're gonna grab a hold of your loop.
Right.
And we're gonna kind of work our way backwards because we just worked on the left arm, right? So we're gonna go ahead into your sword again. So tailbone's tucked under, abs are fully in, we're opening out. And then return back in. And let's look at that cue again, where the work is literally coming from the back of that shoulder. That was really good. Good. 4. Breathe out for 3. Good. Lean forward a little bit too. There you are. It's going to give you that more weighted connection in your abs. Last time. Awesome. Interlace those hands. Elbows are wide, nice and tall for me. Exhale, we rotate. Good. Nice and easy. So we're avoiding any of that false rotation. We're actually rotating through the spine. Nice. And this is also good because it's not disrupting any type of like neck tension with the osteopenia as well. Good. Last time. Excellent. Let's bring you in. Let's take your left hand into that loop. Again, this is the one where your palm is literally looking at your ear, okay? So you're gonna raise your fingertips up towards the ceiling and then slowly drop it back down again. Hold those abs in. There you go. Every single time you feel like the disconnection, that's where we just do a quick little check-in. Good. Bring their elbow back a little bit more. There you go. We have 3, just like that. Shoulder down. This work is coming right from here. Yes. This is our stabilizing muscles there. Good. And rest and relax it. Beautiful job. Okay. Let's go ahead and we're literally going to get into some lateral flexion for you. Again, because I do want to focus on the unilateral stuff. Side overs. Okay, so step on off for me. We're going to adjust this box and give you a huge emphasis on the oblique. So I'm going to attach all the springs back on. And you can have a seat right there, Nella. We're going to start with your left foot underneath the fuzzy. Okay, right there. And you're gonna be on your right hip, yeah. So the right leg is gonna just kind of rest exactly the way it is. Let's take your right hand to the headrest for proper positioning. And your left leg is going to stay straight the whole time. So it's never gonna bend, and we wanna minimize the movement of this leg as well, okay? So let's take your hand, let's actually place it in the back of your head. Yes. I like that because it gives you a little reminder to continue to lean backwards and not round yourself. Okay, so hips are stacked. Pull your abs in towards my hand. There you go. And we're going to deeply bend into the right elbow, just like that. And then you're going to straighten out your arm. Good. And then you're gonna bend and straighten your arm. Now on this next one, bend your elbow and you're gonna disconnect your palm from the headrest and lift. Good. Abs are in towards my hand. Doing a beautiful job of stabilizing. So we don't want to move the hip here. We have another 4. You got it. Keep reminding yourself to press into your hands. 3, 2, and 1. Beautiful. Take that moment. Carefully sit yourself up. Yes. So really targets the obliques here, and you did such a good job with isolating the leg, because that leg should not move when we're doing our side overs in order to feel the benefits. Okay, so that one's gonna stay flexed. Again, we're gonna start with setting you up because it is a new side, so left hand is on that headrest, right hand is behind your head. There you go. Ribs are connected, so we close everything up. That looks beautiful. I'm gonna watch you from this angle here. You're gonna dip yourself into bending your left elbow, and then you're going to straighten it out. Good, 2 more just like that. You're bending and dipping. Roll that hip forward. There you go. You're in 2 panes of glass here. When you're ready, let's disconnect and lift.
That was easier.
Okay, let's see if it is. So I'm gonna hold you steady again, and then we lift. 4. Still feel easy? A little bit. 3. Good, raise that elbow up towards the ceiling. And 2. 1 more. And 1, beautiful. And then go ahead and come on off. So that's the trick there too, is like, holding that hip steady, because sometimes we need that extra bit of help, and all of a sudden things just like feel so different. So stepping off for me, we're gonna end you with extension. Because again, as we're following the progressive flow here, I wanna do a frame pull with you, because I really want some more movement in your upper back. I wanna see those shoulder blades, the whole scapula, get some serious movement in there, okay? So we're gonna go ahead, come down to a light spring. So lie on your stomach, facing the back of the reformer here. Extension, I'm always a fan of keeping the legs separate, especially for you in this portion, because we want to, our whole thing is that we don't want to have any type of narrow stance with you, okay? So frame pull, we're gonna take your hands to the edge of the actual frame. I would like thumbs on top, that's it. And let's activate your thighs. So again, you're lifted off the box here. And then once you're ready there, Nella, let's have you go ahead and drag yourself. So you're gonna pull yourself forward, lifting your chest, and hold. Good, and now start to lower back down again. So with the light spring, it's still working on strengthening your muscles in your upper back here, okay? If I wanted to really focus on extra mobility through your scapula, I would go down to an extra light spring. But I still want some strengthening here with you. And then let's go ahead and lift. Nice. Hold it for a second. I want to give you something, because I want that right hip is dumping forward a little more than I would like. So I'm gonna put a pillow under your right hip, or this pad, I guess I should say. Good, and then go ahead. Right there. And then once you're ready, let's go ahead and continue. Does that feel any different? Or not really?
Yes.
It does?
So, yeah.
Okay.
It's making it work more?
It feels like it's working harder?
Yeah.
Okay. Because what I'm trying to do is I want to...
Because I'm pressing on it. Is that what?
Yeah, well, you were rotated through your hips.
Okay.
So I want to balance you out again. I almost feel like I need to give you a tiny bit more cushion, but
Yeah.
if I do on this side, so I want you to put more pressure on your left than your right
Okay.
when you're doing this exercise. And then let's go ahead for 5. Good, feeling this work coming down. Naturally, dropping those shoulders. 4, and this is also giving you a nice low back stretch here too. And 3, lift your left leg up higher. Not that high. And 2, good, 1 more. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then exit off to the side for me. Excellent. I will take this. I'm gonna have you walk yourself around again. We started with your standing roll downs. We're gonna do that again, okay? So checking in with ourselves here. We're about hip distance apart there with the feet, okay? You're gonna raise your arms straight up again. Make that gentle dive forward. I'm going to pay attention to what's happening with your posture. Love, love, love it. Good. We could send the right hip back a tiny bit. There you go. Now from that point, rebuild and restack. Pushing your feet into the floor. Activate the backs of the legs. Good. One more time. Raise those arms straight up. Take it down. Relax your neck and shoulders. Just kind of like let all your limbs, your upper body just hang there. There you go. Do you feel the difference?
Yeah.
And then go ahead and rebuild and restack. Beautiful work. And shoulders down. Oh my God, it's
Definitely.
so opened up, like, because in the beginning you were really rotated, like you were navigating more to one side, and this just completely like got you more in balance.
Yeah.
I love it. Woo. Good job.
So much.
Yeah.